Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neil Duncan alongside Gerald Richardson, and that gets me excited. I just love this time of year, and you joined us. I guess you joined the crew in the summer, so you've not seen the full Rust mat.
No, I hadn't had the opportunity to see that go in full bore, but I've heard a lot about it and can't wait to see it here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, they're looking at approximately 240 plus teams coming from all over the Northeast, coming down to Polk County. Last year the event did occur, but it was much smaller because of a lot of the decisions that university presidents and colleges were making, but a lot of teams coming in, so we're very excited about that. They'll be at Lake Myrtle Sports Park in Auburndale, as well as the Channel Lakes in Winter Haven, and the brand new Northeast Regional Park up there in Davenport, so we're looking forward to that. This segment brought to us by The Ledger, great partners of tourism and sports marketing, and again, keeping with that theme, great partner of tourism and sports marketing, the RP Funding Center, and we want to welcome back Scott Sloman from RP Funding to Sports Central. Scott, good to have you.
Oh, glad to be back again.
So you guys are a little bit busy, right?
Yes, we're very fortunate after the past year we all had. We're glad that all our teams are up and running again, the Tropics, the Magic, and then the return of the FHSA Boys and Girls Basketball Championships end of February. Very excited to be back in the swing of things again.
I think let's hit the first thing you said, that the Tropics and the Magic are back. In case folks didn't know that, where have you been? Of course, the Magic are the defending G League champs, and the Tropics are something like 11-1 or 10-1 or something. Very successful indoor soccer team. So talk about that experience and why because they're very exciting opportunities to see professional sports at RP.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that. The G League is the minor leagues of the NBA. There is no other league that brings them up into the NBA. In fact, the irony was that when the COVID hit, unfortunately, the NBA, they were calling players up from the G League, which were causing problems with the G League to field teams. So there was a trickle-down effect. But they are, as you said, they're the defending champions of the G League, which was quite an honor. I don't think people thought that, or people certainly don't realize it. But they still have quite a few games left throughout February and March as they begin their playoff drive. And as defending champions, I'm sure they're going to do all they can to get back into the playoff race. And the Tropics, well, some might liken them to the Yankees of the MASL. They have some of the top talent in the league. The credit to the doctor who owns the team and the management there. As you said, they're virtually maybe 1 or 2 losses at most. It's a very exciting brand of soccer. Some people liken it to hockey, the way they strategize it. And it's high scoring and exciting games. And very fortunate to have them last year. Unfortunately, with the season getting cut, they didn't have a chance for the championship. But I'm sure this year they're going to make every effort to win.
Yeah, and the third one there you talked about with the return of the FHSAA basketball. Talk a little bit about that. I know we got boys and girls, and about that with the schedule and everything, and what that brings to the RP funding. But then also kind of what it is that has drawn FHSAA to continue the partnership with Lakeland, the RP Funding Center, over the years to keep that championship right here in Lakeland.
Well, we're probably the longest running FHSA championship in any of the sports that they do. I've been with the city 20 years now, and I know we've had it every year that I've been there, and years prior to my beginning. So very fortunate that it's coming back to return. And I think it's the fact that they enjoy the experience. I think the city embraces it, the county embraces it, and it gives the kids and anyone who comes a good time and a good experience that they enjoy. Our location helps too, certainly being centralized within the state. It allows teams from both ends of the state to come up and have equal, so to speak, travel time. And I think that's a definite plus that the FHA looks for, as the teams don't want to have to stay, necessarily overnight more than they have to, travel more than they have to, put the wear and tear on the kids and themselves. So I think our location is key, as well as, again, the experience that we've given everybody. This is, as I said, going into over our 20th year. It's the boys and the girls, and this year they're bringing back the Special Olympics. It was a very nice thing they had done prior years. Last year with COVID they couldn't, but they're bringing back the Special Olympics, who hold their own championship on each of those weeks. It's 2 weeks, one for the boys, one for the girls. The girls are February 23rd to 26th, so that's a Wednesday through a Saturday. And then the boys is March 2nd through March 5th, again, for the first week of March. And it's the semifinals and finals. There's 7 classes, and each class brings 4 teams, so that's your semis, and they go into the finals. And it's spread out, as I said, between Wednesday and Saturday. The Saturday is always the finals day, but there are limited finals on those Thursdays and Fridays throughout the 2 weeks.
Wonderful.
And I think, if I'm not incorrect, other than I would think about 3 years where it went to Tallahassee for a little while, it's like 40 plus years that they've been coming to Lakeland. And I think one of the things that's important is to note, yes, the economic impact of the event itself is important. The teams, the fans, the referees, FHSA themselves, all the people that are coming in for the championships. But I also think the fact that in every gym of every high school in the state of Florida, when they start that first practice, they're all pointed in one direction, and that's Lakeland. You know, when it moves around, okay, where's the championships this year? But they're pointed towards Polk County, and the value that brings to our community is almost you can't even really calculate that. But the awareness of our location and the RP funding, and part of that was the partnership between the city and the county on the renovations. And even though those renovations have been there for a couple of years, we want to remind folks that not only is there professional sports at RP funding, there's also a renovated building that maybe they haven't experienced, and even the theater side. So talk about some of the other events that go on during the year, because as a lot of people are moving to this area and moving to Florida, maybe you could talk real quick, Scott, about some of the other activities at RP.
Sure. We're unique in that the RP Funding Center is a complex. It's an arena, it's a theater, it's a convention space, all under one roof. Thus, our theater, we have a complete Broadway series. We have concerts. We do dance and cheer competitions. Anyone out there who graduated from Polk County graduated at the RP Funding Center, the Lakeland Center, the Civic Center, because they've been the home to graduation since its inception. In addition to the arena, we do concerts as well. We had Fluffy Gabriel Iglesias just a couple months ago in concert in the arena. We hold cheer competitions. We are also a B2B place for business to business in our conference spaces. We hold meetings. We have an in-house caterer. There isn't anything over the course of 40 years of that building that it probably hasn't seen the old expression, if walls could talk. You know, there isn't anyone that I don't talk to of a certain age that reminds me that their first concert was at the RP Funding Center, going way back. I mean, there's a legacy there that very few buildings in the state have. And, you know, we're proud of it, and hopefully it'll be another 40 years.
Wonderful. For the FHSAA, any changes this year that, you know, maybe a little different from previous years, whether it's due to COVID or whatever it may be, and then specifically for that event, you know, for people locally and then also abroad that are coming down for the event, ticket-wise, do they get those there at the RP Funding just like they would a regular event?
Yeah, tickets are currently on sale. You can go to the RP Funding Center website or call the box office. So they are currently on sale for all sessions, all days. A ticket is good for all day. Excuse me. Every day you can have buy one ticket and it gets you to all the games for that day. There's no reentry, but you can enjoy the whole day with one ticket. Your other question, we're just kind of back to the future. With COVID, we did have to do social distancing, not only up into the stands, but with the players, the coaches, and the seating. Thankfully, that has now subsided, and we're back to full strength, shall we say. We're at full capacity, excuse me, full capacity in the stands, as well as down on the floor. So you shouldn't see any changes as you had from a couple years ago.
Of course, the RP Funding Center. Also, June 14th will be the Polk County All Sports Awards and Hall of Fame induction ceremony held right there at RP, and it's a great event. And the reason I bring that up is there's so many great coaches and athletes and individuals to honor that night from all the competitions throughout the year. And usually, girls' side or boys' side, there's usually a Polk County team that's vying for a state title there, so they kind of get the home court advantage, if you will, not having to travel as far. But girls basketball players have just started. Boys will start next week, so we'll see if there's a Polk County team there. That certainly has to help with the numbers.
We keep our fingers crossed every year.
Well, I will tell you, on the boys' side, there's a lot of good teams, so you might have that again. And of course, you can never count out the likes of Winter Haven and some of these other girls' basketball teams. So certainly looking forward to that. I'm going to put you on the spot real quick. I heard a rumor that there's a special event coming to the RP Funding Center that hasn't been announced yet. Do you want to announce that? Again, to me, it's a rumor, but to you, I'm trying to gauge by the look on your face. Let me say it this way, is there a major announcement coming soon?
Well, I'm wrestling with that decision.
Which decision? Whether it's coming or whether to say it on here?
I'm wrestling whether I should announce it or not.
Well, we don't want to get you in trouble. We'll wait on that. But what is the website that they folks can go to?
It's the rpfundingcenter.com, and that's all one word, rpfundingcenter.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We appreciate everything the crew does over there. As we were talking with Bing, the events don't just show up and they don't just happen. There takes a really strong crew behind the scenes working with these events to make sure that they successfully occur at RP, and we know it's you and your team and Tony and the crew. So thank you, Scott.
We thank you.
All right, well, we just talked about FHSAA. We've got some footage of a past girls FHSAA finals at RP Funding Center. Gerald and Neil will be right back here on Sports Central.